Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Fins Talk Sports Network. I'm Bobby Fins Talk. That's Fish Tank Hank. That's FinStanza Posner. Hank live on location at the Miami Dolphins game. I am alive after and I have if I have to put my camera off and run, my guys know why. So Evan will take over. But before that, let me go ahead and say, because Hank's on location. Hank, how is it over there downtown in Miami?
You know what? Everybody's here partying right now. Give me a fins up, everybody. Woo! Woo! All right. Got the helicopter flying over. It's a party. It's starting. And you know, it's going to get a lot better as the day goes on. People are taking pictures everywhere. It's a fun day. How are you
it looks like a fun vibe. It looks like a fun vibe. You got Bronco fans hanging out. You got Miami fans. How's the vibe down there with Dolphin fans? They feel like we got another W coming?
Oh, the vibe is great. I mean, look at the kids. They're excited. They're excited.
Look at that.
Come on.
Let me just say hello to everybody.
Everybody's ready for the game. You know what I mean?
Hey, who wouldn't? Who's not? A fun season so far.
My wife said she wants to be famous.
And Kelly, there she is.
The best.
Fins up, 3-0.
That's right.
All about the 3-0, as you can tell.
Yeah.
All right, I just wanted to pop in. Maybe I'll pop in a little bit later during the
show. Enjoy, buddy.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you.
All right, and the word is party, okay?
Fins up, buddy.
Party and get the W. Fins up, Fish Tank. That's Fish Tank Hank. And we'll get here, too, and welcome everybody to the Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Let me just give a thanks to my brother, FinStanza Posner, for watching over my show yesterday. Did a great job.
I appreciate it.
I mean, literally, I was out all day and for a few days, and I actually slept good last night. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to try to do this. So I'm here, and I just want to welcome everybody for tuning in. Alex Brown, Houston Texans fan, said, hey, I'll come on. You're more than welcome to come on. We don't mind a different perspective because we talk about all different types of sports. Different type of teams later on in the show. But Eric, Aladino, Alex, Ben, Brian, thank you all for tuning in. Fins up. Smash that like and subscribe button. Let's get this ball rolling. I wasn't able to talk about the game yesterday, but we are here now today. It was confirmed yesterday that Jalen Waddle will be out for this football game, which is, was not really a surprise. Let me go ahead and
they're bringing up six. They're going to be playing with 6 wide receivers today because they've activated Cedric Wilson and they've elevated Robbie Chosen.
I saw that. And again, you know what? And I know you disagreed with me yesterday, and Ralph called me and was disagreeing with me. And I just want to say, I think that's a sign of what Miami plans to do, because I think Miami knows, like I know, that this is not going to be, we're going to blow these guys out. I don't see this as a blowout type of game. Denver is 0-2. Dolphins are 2-0. Denver's back is against the wall. Denver's back's against the wall. You got a Hall of Fame Super Bowl coach. You got a Hall of Fame Super Bowl quarterback. And the Broncos do have a talented team. There's a lot of hype behind them before the season. Their backs are against the wall. They're going to come out with their backs with nothing to lose, trying to win this game. Miami knows that. Miami has to score fast, score often, and know they're going to have to keep their foot on their throats because Denver's going to come today. And that's why yesterday I put my prediction in the comments. And if you didn't watch Fitz Talk today, I'll say it later in the show. I believe this is going to be a high-scoring, tight football game. I think I already know the spoil. I get Fins up. You know what I mean? Dolphins are going to go 3-0. I'm just giving you what I think is going to go down. And also, too, Miami. Well, thank you, Eric. I appreciate you, brother. And I like your last name, Rivera. Again, my Melendez, but my should have been Rivera. But that's a whole family storyline. But I do want to say is that Miami, look, not that Miami is not ultra talented, not that Miami has not shown in week 1 they could play with any offense. In week 2, they could shut down one of the top defenses and play a great defense. They've shown that they could play they could be a balanced team if they could play a perfect game. But they've also shown last week against the Patriots, even though it was a lot closer. I mean, it looked closer than what it really was, the win against the Patriots. It wasn't that close. The score looked close. It wasn't that close. The issue with Miami in that game was that they played, and eventually they started playing down to the Patriots, and the Patriots started trying to come back, and then you had that little hiccup at the end, the missed field goal, and it looked like 24-17. It looked like it wasn't close. That could happen today. Not that the Broncos are a bad team. The Broncos started 0-2. Last week they had a good game against the Commanders. I know the Commanders aren't the Dolphins, but any given Sunday, you got to
say they had a good game against the Commanders. They blew a 2-touchdown lead.
Against
Sam Howell and the Commanders. It's not like they beat
any given Sunday. Any given Sunday.
Of course, any given Sunday. But the difference with this team, but Bobby, we're happy you're feeling better. I'm always here to help as much as I can. I'm decking out my new. I saw this hat yesterday when I was out, and I said I had to buy this hat. I love the gray and white. It's awesome. I love this new hat. Always got to deck myself in Dolphins gear. But for me, the blitz, Vance Joseph is a very similar to Brian Flores, Josh Boyer. They're a blitz-heavy type of defense. And as fast as Tua gets rid of the football, he's going to go off today because they're not going to have people covering. They're a blitz-heavy team. It's very Josh Boyer-esque, and I think he's going to shred it. I do agree their backs are against the wall, but what they've shown in the first two games, plus they're missing Simmons, or their Pro Bowl safety. So it's just really back there is Patrick Surtain. So Patrick Surtain, if he tries to basically, if they double on Tyreek Hill again and they're blitzing, ain't going to work. So yes, it could end up being a close game, but the Miami Dolphins have to come out fast. They have to come out strong. Whether Waddle's there or not, I think they have, whether it's Berrios' homecoming, whether it's Tua's homecoming, hasn't played theirs since the Green Bay game. It's a home opener. It's going to be a whiteout. I think they can't leave. Let's put it to you this way. The Miami Dolphins cannot leave points on the table today, just from a momentum perspective. Last game, they left points, whether it was a bad throw by Tua that was caught by Christian Gonzalez, or whether it was the fumble, the two missed field goal, the two special team plays. In theory, they left potentially anywhere between 13 to 13 points on the board. And that's why I'm saying it wasn't as close as people may have thought. The Patriots made mistakes, and they were not putting points on the board. We were putting points on the board. We just left some there. So, but no, the defense, we're stronger today because very likely and our team today will be, even though you're missing Jalen Waddle, you're getting Teron Armstead and you're getting Jalen Phillips back. And you have a guy in Bradley Chubb who came out last game. You have Andrew Van Ginkel who had a star game. We're getting stars back on a game where we were missing stars last game. So yes, we may have lost Jalen Waddle, but Cedric Wilson is a capable wide receiver. So is Robbie Chosen, a veteran in the NFL. I'm not worried at this level. Raheem Mostert is going off so far. He's making he's quieting the idea of getting another running back. A-Chain's going to get the ball today. So yes, could it be close? Sure. I don't expect it to be close. I'll put it to you that way. I'll be surprised if it's close. I'll be disappointed if they win by only 7. No, but I expect it not to be close.
So what you're saying, so you just said that, but what you're saying is on postgame today that if my prediction was right yesterday and the Dolphins win by just so much, that you're going to be here screaming to the heavens how it was so close. Because
no, I will not. I promise.
Hold you to
I said it here.
I'm going to hold you.
I will be disappointed. I will overreact if we're less than 10 minutes in the fourth quarter and the Dolphins are only up by 3-6. If it's a one-score game, less than a one-score game heading into the fourth quarter, I will be disappointed. Can they come back and get it close to a 6-point victory? Sure. But heading into that fourth, I don't want us to all be feeling, Miami Dolphin fans, that it's still a very tight window and one mistake by the offense or one goof up on the defense and they could take the lead. I could end up being 6 points or less, sure. But I think the Dolphins should have zero reason covering today. They should be able to cover the 5.5. That's for sure.
All right. And see here, yes, Jalen Waddle out with a concussion against the Broncos. Chosen Anderson has been elevated to the main roster. And also, of course, Cedric Wilson, as Evan has brought up. Cameron Good, also linebacker, elevated to the final roster. Let's take a look at the final.
By the way, they need to keep him on the roster now, or they're going to have to cut him or something, because once you're brought up 3 times, you can't be brought up again unless you're put on the active roster. So they're going to have to make a decision after today's game, because this is the 3rd game in a row they brought up Cameron Good. So if they either need to sign him to the active roster, or they're probably going to have to cut him, because they can't do both. They can't bring him up. They can't elevate him again.
Let me look up the injury report here. So the final Dolphins injury report. Yeah, they got it was from yesterday, the final injury report.
Oh, I don't know if they know, but they haven't listed the active inactives yet.
Yeah, they should soon, though, because the game starts in an hour and
2 hours,
40 minutes. But anyway, Savon Ahmed did not participate. He's doubtful for today's game. Obviously, this could be a game where Devon Achane gets some more snaps, so we might see more of him. Taron Armstead is questionable, but he is projected to play today, which is great, even though it's kind of bittersweet because I've been loving what I've seen for the Kendall Lamb. But as Evan brought up yesterday on Fins Talk today, Kendall Lamb probably becomes the best swing tackle in football. Elijah Campbell, questionable. Raquan Davis, questionable. Julian Hill, Tyler Kraft, Phillips, Waddle is out. Tyreek Hill is good to go. Andrew Van Ginkel, good to go. They just were limited yesterday. Phillips is supposed to participate. I haven't seen anything about him not. He did participate fully yesterday, excuse me. For the Broncos, Frank Clark, Justin Simmons, which is huge for their defense, both out. Defensive tackle Mike Parcell is questionable, and then Garrett Bowles, their tackle, is going to play. So we haven't got the official list yet.
I'll be refreshing until we can see it.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and
I'll keep refreshing.
Just checking it out here, guys, as we are live for the Miami Dolphins pregame show here on the Fins Talk Sports Network, and waiting to see what's going down. Now let's go ahead and pull this up. Taking a look at some of the storylines going on right now with the Miami Dolphins. Again, I think it's going to be a fun matchup today. I don't see this. I mean,
there's always the nervousness.
Win by blood. It's going to be great for the Dolphins, but I think this is going to be a fun game for football fans.
Can I ask you
just
a
like
question,
the Patriots. I mean, not the Patriots. Like the Chargers was a fun game for football fans. It was the best game of the week. I think this could be the best game of the week.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question, though?
Go ahead.
Would you prefer to play the Broncos, which is a team that the Dolphins are expected to win, or would you rather them play a team that's at their level, so they're not playing down to their competition? In the sense that does a home opener game make you more nervous to play a team that's 0-2, or would you rather be facing a team that's 1-1 or 2-0, meaning that they have to play up to that competition and play at their level versus potentially playing down and taking their eye off the ball and looking towards next Sunday against the Bills? Now, I don't think Mike McDaniel, Fangio are those types of coaches, but I'm just asking you, what would give you more sense of comfort, facing an 0-2 team that has their back against the wall, or a team that's 2-0 or 1-1 that won last week?
I'm going to be honest with you. Well, the weather looks good because the weather looks good because Hank was just on location and looked bright and sunny to me.
It's beautiful.
But I will say, Evan, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm comfortable with any team right now.
Okay, there you go.
I really am. I'm really comfortable with any team. You could be 2-0, 0-2, 1-1. I think again, to me, it's a week-to-week thing. Okay, I'm not looking past Denver. I'm not looking to the Buffalo Bills. I'm looking to the Denver Broncos. And after what I saw the last 2 weeks, I saw a very good offense. Obviously, maybe the best offensive team in football week 1. I saw a very strong defense in week 2, an offense that did enough. And so I expect kind of like I would like to see both sides of the coin here this week against the Broncos. That's my hope, But I see a high-scoring game. I see the Broncos trying to do whatever they can to pull an upset and get the first W on the board. But obviously, I think Miami has shown that even when they played – look, if this was a team that played down to their competition last year, we would have lost that game last week.
Yeah.
That fumble, that missed field goal, the Patriots would have found a way to win. The Dolphins would have found a way to lose, and we'd be sitting here 1-1. Or if we were having a shootout with Justin Herbert in week 1 with last year's team or the year before that, we would have lost that game. Except Miami has found a way to win week 1. They sealed the deal on defense. Week 2, they started slipping a little bit in week 2 at the end, which was just them getting their foot off the gas. I think they learned their lesson. They almost slipped up. They won the game. This is a different Miami Dolphins football team. Okay, that's what people have to realize. Yes, I think it's going to be a closer game because I think Denver's not going to sleep. I don't think Denver's going to play up to their competition. Okay, where Miami is, I don't think Miami's going to learn. And even if Miami plays down to the Denver Broncos, which I don't think is that down compared to what you think, if Miami plays down, I don't think Miami loses. I just say Miami has to be careful.
The thing they have to be most careful about, because it gives us memories of last year, and hopefully the defense has learned their lesson and adjusted, or at least Vic Fangio's defense, not Josh Boyer's, is we struggle against mobile quarterbacks, where it's been a tough game where Russell Wilson's able to scramble, and he has the ability to elude tackles. And if I don't want to see a game where Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips and Christian Wilkins are chasing after Russell Wilson. They need to keep him in the pocket. They have to get him on both sides. And that's what I expect. They need to contain Russell Wilson inside the pocket. You don't want him flustered and jumping around, because he can make plays if he gets outside the pocket, because he does have speed.
You're 100% right, and that's my whole thing. I thank you, sweetheart, appreciate it. And that's my whole
Tati.
point. Evan says hi, Tati.
Oh, hi, Evan.
I said sweetheart. I was talking to her. I was probably talking. Well, no, just
because you're not looking down to Audrey. You're not looking down to your kids. You looked up.
I looked up.
You didn't look straight. You didn't look down.
That's right. Compared to yesterday, it looks like you were like.
Oh, one of my kids. I tell them I need 45 minutes. What do they have to do? They have to start fighting over nonsense. These children.
It was so funny, dude. You compared to me going, shut up.
But I want to speak in a different language. But
you're right, and that's something I told Ralph last night. Because but I told him, I said, here's the thing, because Ralph's like, oh, Bobby, look at the way Tua's playing. Look at the way Mike McDaniel's coaching. Look at Vic Fangio. Those guys, which is all true and fair. However, I was like, hey, look, what you just said. Russell Wilson, that's a Hall of Fame Super Bowl winning quarterback, okay?
Not the last 2 years, but yeah.
Not the last 2 years, but he is, right? We can't, we know what he's done, and we know what he could do. Sean Payton, look, he knows the eyes are watching him. Hey, man, was it you in New Orleans, or was it Drew Brees? What happened there? Same thing with Bill Belichick. So that's a Hall of Fame coach, okay, who has a lot at stake, who's a good damn coach. We know that. We're not taking anything away from him. At the same time, it's like, hey, you think Vic Fangio's a Hall of Fame coach? Maybe just in some eyes, he's a Hall of Fame coach. Mike McDaniel, only two seasons in, but looking damn good so far. Tua could be the MVP after this season. Those guys have been there, done that. They know what it takes to win games, and especially games when they're back against the wall. They're talking to each other going, hey, dude, we're down 0-2. People are laughing at us. We got to go do something. We got to make an impact. We got to make it. People think this is the next and up-and-coming team. They think they're the next big thing. We got to shut them down. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, when you look at talent, and we could go talent by talent and go, okay, well, but, you throw it out the door. If you look at it, it's guerrilla warfare out there.
Yeah.
The Broncos are going, just like, even though Oregon did the Colorado yesterday, everybody was hyping on Colorado with Deion Sanders. And then Oregon was that guy said, they're looking for clicks. We're looking for wins. And what did they do? They freaking blew them out. Not saying that Denver's going to do that to Miami, but what I'm saying is that type of thing where there's some teams that are, especially not that Oregon's Denver, that are down 0-2 and they're going, look who we are. We've won championships. Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. We've won championships. We've done it. What have they done? And they're saying they're better than us, even though we're 0-2 and they're 2-0. We got to show them we're still here. So that's what I'm saying. I expect them to fight. Maybe not because of talent, Evan, or saying that, oh, Miami can't do it, or they can't score a blowout. I'm just saying is that I expect that from Denver. I expect a fight. I expect these guys to come out as their best version of themselves. And Miami might have to play up and then close it out at the end.
Of course. No, for me, the Miami Dolphins, every game for us is nerve-wracking because we have such high expectations of our team. But I will admit I was nervous last week because we're playing Bill Belichick, and I knew how were we going to adjust? Are we going to overthrow? Are we going to try to risk it? But then I watched something that's actually happening right now on CBS4 in Miami. But there's something called the Mike McDaniel Show where he broke down a play.
The coaches show.
The coaches show.
Yeah.
And there was a play that he broke down for 3 minutes, showing all the motion of Durham Smythe coming across. And then literally the moment he crossed back of Tua comes back. And the way Ingle was blocking and the way that Hunt moved and the way that Tyreek Hill was blocking. And you see the unison on how and he says, you spend 2 hours in a practicing that one play. And it's the repetition and the use. And that's the thing about this team is the tactician play of, and the one thing I want to give credit to this team, and you're the one who's always talked about it, is the fact that what have they done in both games? In the end, when they've had to adjust, they're not being stubborn with the current play. Last game 1, very pass heavy. Next game, very balanced attack. The defense blitzed only at the end. Last game, blitz at the beginning. There's an adjustment period for each. Now, any quarterback on any given Sunday can do whatever they want, but it's like other games that have happened in the league where you have a team that's that's struggling against a team that's great. It might be close, but at one point the better team has to pull away. They just have to pull away. So we don't know yet if Eli Apple's starting yet. We all have concerns. He probably is, because based on what Vic Fangio has said, he believes he had a bad game, but it just didn't fall on him. They just need to keep on adjusting him. Exactly. That's one of your kids. And but no, it's absolutely, for me, it's all about the adjustments for us. Like, they just need to come out strong and they have to play mistake free. That's what I said yesterday, and I said on the bandwagon, I don't want to see one turnover from Tua today. That is the one weakness I will give him, is he's tried to make he's done it twice, where he's tried to fit a ball somewhere that was not his play. And I'll even admit this. He's not the best deep ball thrower in the league. He's not even close. He's an accurate, quick thrower. And if he has someone open downfield, but the problem is, and the one thing I've been watching a lot of the plays this week, the anticipatory skills, and even Tyreek Hill said it this week, you want a quarterback who, when they get to the ball, when the guy is still in his route, the ball's already been thrown, because when they turn, they don't want to wait for the ball. They want to catch it and keep going. And that's what Tua has to stick with. When he threw those 2 interceptions, he was expecting the player to either go get the ball, or it was a play that was already dead. And you don't do that. Today, you stick with what works. You do it strong. Unless you feel that the guy's is going downfield, you have Robbie Chosen there, you have Tyreek. Go utilize those plays. Use the slot when you have to, but I want to see mistake-free football. My biggest disappointment today is if Tua has not learned from those 2 mistakes, because that's been his Achilles heel the first 2 weeks. He's made 2 boneheaded mistakes on plays that he had zero right to throw, because that was not his first read, and he tried to force something in somewhere that should not have been forced.
And let me and I agree with you, okay? And I don't want any interceptions. However, I will push back on you on this part.
Okay, good part.
It's not boneheaded interceptions. It's not like he made it was him being aggressive. And that's a different version.
But that's a little bit immature.
But at the same time, to me, no, it is mature. It is what I'm gonna tell you. It's not like he was making a stupid decision where he didn't read the defense and he was like he tried to make it to me.
It was a jump ball, that one.
He's trying to be aggressive, i.e. Brett Favre, i.e. maybe Marino saying, hey, dude, sometimes, or Ryan Fitzpatrick, who was his mentor at the start of it all, who's told him. So he goes, man, how did you make that throw? I remember Tua on the sideline talking to Fitzpatrick after a play. He goes, dude, how did you do that? Why did you do that? He goes, sometimes you just got to throw it. Sometimes you got to just do it. That's basically what he said. You got to be, and Fitzpatrick was that guy. And, obviously we want Tua to be greater and better than Fitzpatrick, and which we think he could be. But at the same time, that's what I'm seeing out of Tua this year, where it's a little more, I got to take chances. I got the weapons. He has Tyreek. He has Jalen. He trusts those guys. Look at Barrios. He trusts those guys. So there's plays where he's going to do that. We're going to go, no. And yeah, it might be an interception. Now, you can't do that at the end of the game. You can't do it when it's close. But when you got to make an aggressive play, you have the weapons to do it. Do it. Now, I'll say this for Miami. I don't want to look towards the offseason. But if Tua's going to start to do that, you might have to go receiver shopping at the end of the season, because you need a big guy.
You need a 6'6" guy.
You need a 6 foot. You need a.
That's why.
You know,
that's what I'm saying. When we play a lot of these teams, we're the Oompa Loompas of the league with speed, and they're Goliath.
Oompa Loompas.
We're Oompa Loompas. We have small receivers across the board. Our tallest one will be Robbie Chosen today. You're not a big team on offense, except for the offensive line. So you utilize your speed and utilize your weapons. What I'm trying to say about Tua is if Tua has to wait, that's the thing. He needs to be in stride with his throw. What I mean is if he's thinking about throwing the ball, and unless he has the guy on the run, the guy has to stop because Tyreek and Jalen are so goddamn fast that if you make them stop their route to go get the ball, you're also giving the corner and the secondary time to get to that ball also. So that's why he can't hesitate. If he's going to hesitate, he has to also not bomb it because he has to be in stride. The same way he threw. Remember the most beautiful throw he threw? When he threw that ball against the Chargers, he stepped into the pocket and he on his back foot and whacked the ball, and Tyreek was still moving. The interceptions he's been throwing, the receiver's waiting for the ball. Unless the guy is wide open by himself because the corner fell, don't make those throws. Now everyone's going to make those throws, but I'm saying that's the one area that I've been frustrated with his play is that when he's gone the interceptions, it's not like the guy was in stride. If the guy's in stride and someone comes out of nowhere and intercepts it on your anticipatory play, that happens. You did what you had to do. I'll accept that. But the throws where a guy has to go jump for it because you're throwing something where the guy has to stop his route, I don't like those types of throws from Tua. That's where he has struggled.
Gotcha. And I get it. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just giving you a little bit of a vision of what's going on.
I'm being hard on him. Me, Mr. Bandwagon, I'm trying to pinpoint where the issues are for me so far this season.
Oh, let's see. We got a Dolphins tweet. So inactives for today. Here we go. The week 3 inactives for the Denver Broncos versus Miami Dolphins. Skylar Thompson. He's emergency quarterback 3. Jalen Waddle, Eric Eze, Eric Uzakam is out. Cam Smith, Savon Ahmed, Keon Smith tackle, and Tyler Croft all out today against.
So you're basically saying so they sat Eze for Robbie Chosen. So they're only playing 5 wide receivers. They're playing Hill, Chosen, Berrios, Craycraft, and Wilson. Right
there you go. Yeah.
No Cam Smith, which means they elevate. Who's backing up Apple? Needham's still on the injured IR, right?
Let me see if I could put this up here very quick.
Is Nick Needham up? Is Nick Needham healthy? No.
I
still on IR, right? He's still on IR, right? I'm just trying to see who's on corner today. Who's backing him up? Who's the backup corner today? If there's no Cam Smith. That's what I want to know.
So there you go, guys. So there's the inactives right there. Skylar Thompson, he is the emergency 3rd quarterback. So if something happens, God forbid, to Tua, Mike White, Skylar Thompson comes in. Jalen Waddle, 2 wide receivers. Jalen Waddle is out. We know that with a concussion. Eric Eze is probably sitting today in favor of Robbie Chosen. Cam Smith, the corner, our rookie corner, is out today. Running back Savon Ahmed is out. So we expect Devon Achane to get some more reps. Keon Smith, tackle, and then tight end Tyler Croft is also out. So the big surprise, the two surprises for me here is Eze and Cam Smith.
Yeah,
those are the surprises. So
yeah, because right now, us on corner, your only backup is you have Bethel and you have Kohu. They're only playing 4 corners today.
What's up, DB? Thank you, brother, for tuning in, man. Fins up.
That's my only concern is right now they're playing very, very, very thin. They're very thin today at corner.
And they might think what you think. You know, let me look. Let's pull that up. I do want to bring up. Let's look up the Broncos.
Julian Hill is active.
Yeah, I didn't see him on there.
Yeah.
Because
I'm looking at their corners, and I don't see.
And that's true. Let me open this up.
Eli Apple, Bethel, Howard, or unless Kelvin Joseph's there. Sorry, Kelvin Joseph is there.
Let's pull this.
Kelvin Joseph has to be. And Perry Nickerson. No, is Perry Nickerson on the practice squad?
That's stupid. All right.
Oh yeah, there's Perry Nickerson too. There's Campbell. Campbell's playing. Okay. Bethel's active. Okay.
So, and then let me just say too, in regards of the Broncos, because I do look at this. So right now, obviously, the Broncos are the 15th best defense. It's just the start of the season. It's only 3 weeks in. Of course, the Patriots were the 14th. We saw what Miami did there. And then offensively, who's the number one offense after 2 games? The Dolphins. 3, 6, 7. The 16th best offense right now after, and it's just the start of the year. But if we go to last season, I want to just pull this up. Let's see here. Yeah, last season they were the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th best defense. 8th best defense was the Patriots. Broncos with the 7th best defense last year. So, and again, and we talk about their offense, but their defense is no slouch. Even though they are losing Justin Simmons today, who will not play.
That's huge.
Their roster, it is huge, absolutely, and maybe that's why Miami's comfortable with what it's going to look like.
I know this is not Miami Dolphins, but you want to hear an interesting tidbit of NFL news? J.C. Jackson, who signed a 5-year, $82.5 million contract with the Chargers, is inactive against the Vikings. A healthy and active, no injury. He's on the hot seat, Brandon Staley. Imagine what are the chances that Brandon Staley's fired tomorrow if they go 0-3?
I think Brandon Staley is the Jason Sanders of coaching for you. I really do. You're always bringing him up. I don't know why I always do that.
I didn't bring up Jason Sanders on Thursday, and I kept my mouth shut about him today.
I'm proud of you. I did see that.
There's no issues today. There's no cold. There's not.
Well, I just watched. My son put on yesterday. My son did not want to leave me, but I had to keep him like at the foot of the bed, and he put on the highlights. But it was like 25 minutes of highlights of the Baltimore-Miami game. And he kicked that 50-yarder, Jason Sanders. And I was like, I just thought it was the most hilarious thing that he kicked that field goal. Josh Wingate in the house, host of the Beer and Sports podcast.
Oh, yeah. How's Trayvon Diggs doing? Shucks.
Oh, don't kick a man when he's down.
No, but he came at us first.
Oh, come on.
He came at us first. Hey, we were missing.
Yeah, but
remember I told you at the beginning of the year when Jalen Ramsey got injured, like, if it was going to happen, let it happen right now. Let your guys get injured now. And by the way, I understand Kendall Lamb is not there, and he's been phenomenal. But like what Teron Armstead there, the level of peace and quiet that the offensive line is going to have today, you're adding an all-pro offensive lineman to an offensive line that's been great for first 2 weeks. Like that's insane. And you know this. When he was there last year,
yeah,
the offensive line was banger.
Yes, absolutely.
Banger.
And that's why it is bittersweet because we see what Kendall Lamb was doing, but you're getting an all-pro stud tackle back who's your star on offensive line. So I need to play well. As long as you're not playing me, Alex, I'm 2-0. I'm looking to get 3-0, just like the Dolphins this week.
By the way, I have Tua, but Patrick Mahomes is playing the Bears. Okay, the Bears. I'm letting. And Patrick Mahomes has to go off one game. So.
Yes, his injury is not as bad as it was bad, but it wasn't as bad. So he should be, I think, 6 to 9 months he's looking at right now. I mean, God bless him.
And Kareem Hunt is wearing is wearing a Chubb jersey to the game today. Not very Canadian of you, Evan. I love you. How's your washer and dryer? Did they reschedule you? They should give you the washer and dryer for free, Josh. This poor guy waited around all day yesterday and they canceled on him because of a little bit of rain. You need Montreal Canadian. You need Canadian delivery guys. They come no rain, no sleet, no snow. They come every time.
Let me see. All right, so let's do this, Evan. Since we are definitely going to get some rain today.
You're my favorite bearded person because Lagasse keeps on dumping on me. I never know when he's here, when he's not here. Even though congratulations on his new baby girl.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be here tonight. Hopefully I'll be on tonight. I told Evan checked in on me this morning, and I actually slept through the night, so I was getting as much sleep as I can, and I'm like, because I'm like, okay, I think I could do this. So I said, hey, dude, let me freshen up. He was like, oh, no worries. So I was like, cool. And the warning is if I have to close this out, for myself, let me run. He's like, I got you, brother. So I'll be the same for tonight. it sucked missing out yesterday. There's nothing better than talking sports. Nothing better than talking Dolphins and talking it with my boys.
Well,
here on the Fins
FinStanza's
Talk
always
Sports
here
Network.
for you, buddy.
I
FinStanza's
know.
always here.
I appreciate you. So let's do this as we are waiting for more news, and we'll keep talking Dolphins as the show goes on. But let's check out the games for this week, and let's do our predictions. So we obviously know the San Francisco 49ers decimated the Giants 30-12.
What does that tell you? That tells you that Daniel Jones will out Saquon Barkley. I said that last year. That team signed more players. They have Darren Waller. They have second year of Wink Martindale. They have Brian Dable, who's supposed to be an offensive genius. This team has fallen off a cliff very quickly.
Well,
very quickly.
Yeah, and again, it's still early, so Giant fans could, and let me just say something about Darren Waller. It's totally off subject. So again, I was in bed all day yesterday. I was just drained from the morning and drained from the night before. My son was sitting at the edge of the bed. I got Madden 24, and that's what he's playing. He's hooked. And he started playing. I used to play franchise mode, and I play online, and I'm doing very damn good online so I'm like 13-2 or something like that. But he's playing superstar mode, which is, you create a player, you play. Oh, wait, sorry. That's
Muzzle tough on his anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Wingate.
I'm at
Congratulations,
how many years now?
brother.
I lose track. I'm at 12 and a bit.
14
what are you
years,
at?
7 years married.
7 years too?
Who, me?
Yeah, you. You're 10.
Tati and I, we're 10 years married. We're together 15 years, been married 10 years.
I'm together 16 years plus and married 12.
There you go. So we're not, Wingate, you and myself are not too far off.
Yeah.
So what I want to say is, but I'm talking about Madden 24. So
Yeah.
Tristan's playing, he wanted, he's like, Dad, I want to create a player and I want to be zero and I want to play
Do you have a PS5? You have a PS5?
No, I got a Series X, Xbox.
Xbox Series X?
Yeah, I'm an Xbox guy. I've always said I'll get a PlayStation when but I'm all into Xbox. But anyway, he's playing Madden, does a superstar. We create his character, and he's a receiver, and he's number 0, maybe he's starting to like Broxton Barrios. But he's number 0. And I say, no, he goes, I want to be in the Dolphins. I go, what's different about superstar is that you create your player, you go through the draft process, and you get drafted by any team. And he's like, oh man, he's like, all right, I hope it's the Dolphins. Of course, he got drafted by the Packers, but he's living with it. So I thought it was cool. I did it later on. I did my own one, did it quarterback, got drafted by the Giants. You brought up Darren Waller. That effort on this Xbox game couldn't catch a damn pass. He was really screwed me up in week 1 of that game. So I'm not a big fan of Darren Waller right now. In real life, I am. In the video game, I'm not. He can't catch.
Yeah, but the Giants, for the 49ers, even without Brandon, that's why I'm saying the Miami Dolphins, I want to do one thing quick. People are comparing, it's the Shanahan offense. It's not, because we have Mike McDaniel is his own guy. It's a similar concept, but we're using it a little bit differently. But one thing, but similar to Kyle Shanahan, what Mike McDaniel's like, they were missing their best wide receiver so far for the year. Samuel's great, but Samuel is the hill, let's say, of that team. They're missing Brandon Ayuk, and no Brandon Ayuk, and they still decimated them.
Exactly. Let's go on to let's go ahead and move on here. The first game we're going to predict here, we're going Tennessee at Cleveland. The Tennessee Titans versus the Cleveland Browns. Titans won last week. Cleveland Browns 1-1 as well. The Titans, the based off picks, the Browns are favored 58% compared to 42% for the Titans. Evan, which way you floating here?
Kareem Hunt, they're going to be playing up for Nick Chubb. That's still a good offensive line. Nick Chubb and the guy who played last week, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. The guy who played for the Browns, who still had a good game, their backup. That defense, Myles Garrett's going to put. I like Ryan Tannehill had a great game last year, but that defense is something else with Jim Schwartz this year. It's in the dog pound. I would say that even without Deshaun Watson is basically the 4th or 5th best player on this team right now. Somehow they're doing it. The Browns are going to pick up the win at home in the dog pound.
I'm with you. I'm rolling with the Browns here. I think the Browns are going to pull this out. I know Nick Chubb is out, but again, Kareem Hunt. I expect it's just the defense. I expect their defense to stifle that.
Their defense is something
Titans offense. Next game is the Atlanta Falcons at Detroit. Detroit is really favored to win 83% over 17. Atlanta Falcons are 2-0, which is great for them. They got a young, talented squad, and Detroit Lions 1-1, but we know how talented they are. I'm rolling with the Lions here. Dan Campbell, where are you going?
I'm rolling with the Lions. They've been putting up points in both of their first 2 games. I don't think the Falcons have the ability to keep up with them the way the Seahawks did last year. I think the Seahawks sort of had a sour taste in their mouth from what happened the previous game against the Rams in their home opener, and the Lions are going to come out angry, and I think this is going to be a letdown game for the Falcons. The Lions win covering.
All right. So in the next matchup, we got the 2-0 New Orleans Saints going traveling to Lambeau to go against the 1-1 Green Bay Packers. The Saints are favored just by this much, 51% over 49% against the Packers. I am rolling with our buddy Stager's Green Bay Packers. You're going with the Packers as well?
Home opener for Jordan Love. The place is going to be rocking. I think the last game was just a bit of a letdown game for them against the Falcons, but they still kept it close. The Packers are going to want to win in front of their home crowd. Packers win.
All right, moving on. We're going to skip the Dolphins game till the end here. We got the 0-2 Chargers against the 0-2 Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are favored 58% to 42%. Both teams are trying to fight for their first win. I like both teams, but I am rolling with the Minnesota Vikings to get their first win today. Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins and company with their coach O'Connell. I think they pull this out, and the Chargers go to 0-3. What about you, Evan?
Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins, Madison, they're going to do what they have to do. I do have no faith in these Chargers. I want them to suffer. I want Brandon Staley fired or let him go. I have no faith in those Chargers. No J.C. Jackson out there. I think that Justin Jefferson is going to have a game. I think this defense is very overrated. I take the Vikings home.
All right. We move on. AFC East matchup. Very important for the Dolphins. It is the 0-2 New England Patriots taking on the 1-1 New York Jets. Patriots are favored by 20%, 60% favor the Patriots, 40% favor the Jets. We know the talent of the Jets overall, besides their quarterback position. We do know the defensive talent on the Patriots. I am rolling with the Patriots today to get their first win of the season, dropping the Jets to 1-2. Evan, am I wrong?
Nope, because the Patriots are going to replicate what they did, and Zach Wilson is not Tua, and Zach Wilson is going to Christian Gonzalez. I will probably have 2 interceptions today on Garrett Wilson. And I say it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a close game. I don't think either team is going to score more than 21 points. I could see this being a 20-17 or a 17-14 game, and I see that the Patriots are going to go to MetLife Stadium and beat the Jets.
She always beats me when I'm down. Always beats me when I'm down. You know, here I am suffering and trying to get better, and she's putting that crap on my screen. All right, next one, another AFC East matchup, at least from one team. We got the Buffalo Bills, 1-1, who had a good win last week. Finally got on the winning side of it, even though it was just 2 weeks in. Buffalo Bills taking on the Washington Commanders, who are undefeated. They're 2-0. 2-0. But only 10% of people are picking the Commanders. 90% are picking Buffalo. I'm rolling with the 90%. I think the Buffalo Bills beat the Commanders today. They become 2-1, and the Commanders get their first loss of the season, even though I do like the Commanders, and I do like their coach, Ron Rivera. But I am going to roll with Buffalo today. Evan, disagree?
Nope. Bills are going to go into FedEx Field or whatever you want to call it nowadays, and it's not going to be close. I have a feeling that Josh Allen's going to go off today against the Commanders.
There you go. Fins up, Jamaican from Zion JFZ. Appreciate you for tuning in, brother. And guys, everybody, you're watching the Fins Talk Sports Network Miami Dolphins pregame show. If you just tuning in, smash that subscribe button. If you're watching and you haven't yet, hit that like button and share. Commanders upset. Hey, you know what? I'm down for that. I would be absolutely down for that. And again, I like the Commanders better than most people. Again, Ron Rivera, I'm a fan of his. Sam Howell, the whole team. You know, they got some young talent there, and they could pull it off. Maybe you're right. I hope so.
Me too.
Yeah. The Washington is better than you expect. The NFC is feeling dangerous. NFC East. Yeah. Again, I like what I see from that division, and I like Washington. I'm just again trying to be realistic. Buffalo Bills, stronger team, but I hope it's an upset, and I like the Commanders. I like their squad there. We move on to Alex Brown's team, the Houston Texans, who are 0-2, go against their division rivals, the Jacksonville Jaguars. 1-1 on the season for Jacksonville. 97% rolling with Jacksonville. I'm with the 97%. Sorry, Alex. The Jacksonville Jaguars will win this game, in my opinion. Evan.
This could be a weird upset special, but it's happening in Jacksonville. Ooh. It's not happening in Houston. If it was Houston, I could actually come up with an idea to have an upset, but no, the Jacksonville Jaguars are angry about what happened to them last week against the Chiefs, where they didn't show up much. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to have a game.
Let me say, Jamaican from Zion to JFC, a new sub. Hey, man, appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for
He was on Dolphins Thirsty's channel also. So
nice. Oh, Dolphins Thirsty. If you're thirsty for Dolphins content, go to dolphinsthirsty.com. Rob is a great guy. Steve Malloy, they both host a show on my channel on the Fins Talk Sports Network on Tuesday nights. And, of course, you can catch them on the Dolphins Thirsty
Bobby,
channel.
What am I going to do to get you to come down with me in 3 weeks? What will it take?
I don't know.
All you need is a plane ticket. I will cover the car. I will cover the ticket. Just come hang out with me. You have a place to stay. What will it take?
Yes, and you remember, granted, Josh Wingate is one of the hosts for the Beard Sports Podcast. Great content. I can't wait. I mean, no, I love the season. I'm rolling with the season. College football is great this year. But let me just say too, for Jamaica, a new sub to the channel, and everyone else watching, guys. Catch it. You want to keep tuning into our show, not just because of the great content, but when it comes time for draft season, we got some of the best people on here. We got Wingate, we got Legacy, we have the Michael Vogel, who's a scout. We got a lot of great stuff. We just love talking draft. It's gonna be great. Are you going to the Washington game, Bobby? As of now, no. I want to though.
I'm trying to get him to come to the Carolina game and hang out with me, but he doesn't want to come. I told him as a thank you for putting me on the network, I'm paying for his ticket to come to the actual game. Oh, how much do I have to pay off Tati? What do I have to do?
The Indianapolis Colts.
He's avoiding the subject.
I'm not. I'm just kind of keep on with the show. You can always bother me after. The Indianapolis Colts, who are 1-1 on the season. Anthony Richardson, I believe, is out for today's game. I could be wrong. I thought he was out.
I'm not sure.
The Colts are 1-1. They're going against the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are favored heavily, 96% compared to 4%. They're 2-0 in the season. I think they go 3-0. Baltimore beats the Colts.
Yeah, Baltimore, not even close. Lamar, because I would even say outside of Tua, Mahomes is having an okay year. Lamar Jackson has been actually getting the ball down the field. Lamar Jackson's having a great year. The defense is always going to be strong. The Ravens are going to have some fun today.
Wingate, if I could get there, if I could do it, I'm going to let you know, man.
If you go with him and not with me, I will never forget it.
But if I go to Washington, that's different. It's not like I'm going to a Miami game than a Carolina game, and I'm going to, it's if it's a Washington game, it's different. Now, if you fly to Washington and we go, then we go. Get out of your feelings, brother. All right, Carolina Panthers 0-2 against the Seattle Seahawks 1-1. Yeah, again, a heavily favored Seahawks, 95% to 5% for Carolina. I'm rolling with the Seattle Seahawks. I don't see an upset here.
Yeah, not even close. So it's still going to be a struggle for the Panthers this year. The Seahawks back at home, Panthers, it's not going to be close.
Let's roll. Okay, Kansas City versus the Bears.
What
98%.
The Chicago Bears.
Oh my goodness. 2% favored. We know that 2% is only Chicago. That's 2%, and that's not majority of Chicago. Chicago has more of that.
Put a lot of money into that team, and boy, oh boy, are they a stinker.
Dude, I feel for those players down there because they got some talent on that roster. It's just bad. Kansas City, I got them going 2-1 on the season. Chicago falls to 0-3. I don't see how that.
Yeah, Julian Hill, I believe, is active today for the first time. Yeah, the Chiefs are gonna. This is their coming out party. This is gonna be. The Chiefs are gonna have a day today. Travis Kelce is gonna go absolutely off today.
We'll go on to Mr. Wingate's game here. Dallas Cowboys.
Let's not predict. Let him predict the score.
Okay.
Wingate, we are not going to make a selection. We might skip that game till you announce what you think is going to happen.
We will. So the Dallas Cowboys versus the Arizona Cardinals. Cowboys are 2-0. Cardinals are 0-2. We'll move on, and then we'll get back to that one. I mean, even though I don't think we need to. But anyway, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. It's even, 50-50. I'm rolling with the Raiders getting this one. Evan, are we finally going to disagree?
Yeah. Steelers are going to go in and win that football game. It's going to be a tight game, but I just think that their defense is a little bit stronger, and I believe that the Steelers will win in spite of Kenny Pickett.
All right, there you
This
go.
is a game of game managers, and it's just a matter of what the receivers and the playmakers can do.
Well, and talk about that. You got Jimmy G. I trust Jimmy G over Kenny Pickett, and I trust Devontae Adams over
George Pickens or Deontay Johnson. Yeah, but I have a lot of faith. I have more faith in T.J. Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick.
That's fair. Their defense, 100%. Cowboys by.
Yeah, this is a game where if you're in Survivor and you don't take the Cowboys, let's just put it to you this way: if the Arizona Cardinals keep this game within a touchdown, even without Trayvon Diggs being there, if Micah Parsons does not sack Josh Dobbs at least 3 times, Wingate will be pissed. This game should not. This game is going to be. It's even though it's an indoor stadium, it's easy for the Cowboys. They don't have to adjust to anything. The Cowboys are going to have a ball today.
So I'm rolling with the Cowboys. Evan's rolling, and so is Wingate. We move on to the Cowboys' rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, 2-0 against the 2-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Philadelphia Eagles are favored by 89% compared to 11% for the Bucs. I'm rolling with the Eagles here to pull it out to go 3-0 over the Buccaneers. Where are you rolling?
This is my only. You're going to be shocked, but I'm doing this for my buddy. I'm doing this where I don't understand. I have not been impressed. I have not been impressed by the Philadelphia Eagles after 2 weeks. They have not played a solid football game on either side. They have kept the games close. I don't know what it is. I think Todd Bowles is going to come up with a defense to handle, and this is going to be a tight game. But I have this weird feeling if I have to pick an upset of the week, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I just, inside of me, one of my best oldest friends is a huge Buccaneers fan, and all his friends around him a lot of them are Eagle fans, and I just want him to be able to wake up Tuesday morning and laugh in their face. Baker Mayfield is going to have a game, and somehow, some way, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
There you go.
I just have this weird feeling.
Interesting. Oh my! So there's your upset. That's your upset right there, and that would make Wingate happy. Buccaneers upset the Eagles. According to Evan, I'm going to roll the Eagles there. Then we got the 1-1 Los Angeles Rams taking on the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 0-2, which is a shocker. 63% pick the Bengals to win this game. Only 37% pick the Rams. I'm actually going with the 37%. I'm picking the Rams to beat the Bengals on Monday night.
I love Pekka Nakua, whatever you want to say his first name is. What a start by him. I think the Bengals are just having a weird year. Till Joe Burrow shows me he's 100% healthy, they're not going to win anything. He has to have a game, and if he has it on Monday night, good. But I just have a weird feeling that Aaron Donald is going to get to him, and I do believe that the Rams are going to go into Cincinnati and beat the Cincinnati Bengals.
There you go.
I think there's going to be 2 upsets on Monday Night Football.
Let's make sure. All right, so let's get back to it. Those are our games. We'll get to the Dolphins prediction in just a few moments here. We are at 12 o'clock Eastern time. We are about an hour away from game time for the Dolphins versus the Broncos. So, Evan, you touched on it yesterday. Let's get into it a little bit today. Your keys to victory for the Miami Dolphins.
Keys to victory are no turnovers by Tua, contain Russell Wilson inside the pocket, and no special team mistakes. Just no special team mistakes. That's it. That's all. I want Tua to no turnovers. Yeah. Special team has to go perfect. No long returns. No missed field goals. No muff punts. Nothing. And just FYI, let's see if we can go without punting today. We've only had to punt twice the entire season. Let's keep it that way and just contain Russell Wilson inside the pocket, because we have struggled against running quarterbacks, i.e. Lamar Jackson has been able to go off on us. So has Josh Allen. So contain Russell Wilson inside the pocket.
Yeah, for me, it's bring that week 2 defense in week 3 against the Broncos. Stifle them, stifle that offense. Don't allow Russell Wilson to get it going. Balance attack for the offense. That's number 2. Keep that 50-50 split best you can. And score fast and score often. however way possible, whether it's field goals and a touchdown. And my big time prediction, except for I'm not saying the score, but my prediction is that my hope, because I don't want to hear Evan after, but is that Jason Sanders does not miss a kick today. He makes every field goal today, and he secures the win.
You missed. You better make every extra point, because I will tell you this.
Oh.
If he misses an extra point at home, the Boo Birds, by the way, if he misses an extra point today, the headline on Twitter will be, cut Jason Sanders. Cut Jason Sanders. He cannot miss an extra point today. There's no reason to. He's a kicker who in 2020 was the best kicker in the NFL. I want that Jason Sanders back.
And I think that's what Miami's hoping for. That's why they haven't done anything with him yet. That's why Mike McDaniel keeps giving him, and Crossman and those guys keep giving him and say, hey, you know what? He just has to get over it. They trust him. So I trust him.
But I was hard on him last year, and then he turned it around towards the end of the year. So I have to be hard on him until he actually proves me wrong. That's all. So are you actually going to be able to stay up for the game? No naps for you.
No, I'm going to stay up. I don't know if I'm going to be screaming like I usually do. This might have drained some energy for me for a little bit. But they look like they're having fun though down in Miami. I'm looking right now at some of these pictures of the tailgating.
Yeah, but Bobby doesn't want to come with me. I'm going to keep on rousting him. I haven't bought my tickets yet. I'm hoping someone wants to come with me, or else I'm just going to have to just jump on the bandwagon and find people and go jump with Fish Tank Hank and Dolphins Thirsty. We're all going to they're at the game, so I'm going to try to find a way to get there. It's my birthday. I want to enjoy time in Florida. My wife has given me a reprieve, Bobby. I get to go to Florida, to my place in Florida for 6 days. Wouldn't you, if your wife told you could go away for 5 or 6 days, leaving her with 3 kids, wouldn't you run? Wouldn't you run?
Honestly?
Oh, he's about to say no. If Tati must be in the room. Tati must be in the room.
No, she's not. I'm not. She ain't listening. No. You know, I mean, you go to a Dolphin game? Yes. Dolphin game, I would run to a Dolphins game for sure.
I am running to a Dolphins game.
I know. But you did that today. You know, but my kids are the best friends, dude. I like hanging out with my son, Tristan. You know, me and my son, Tristan, we're close, you know.
I love my kids. One of them is right here. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that.
Your kid right now on the side going,
no, he's Dad. He couldn't care less. He couldn't care less. Because they know, you know what? They know because if I go away, I come back with stuff, right? They know whenever a parent comes back, they always, I'm going to go to Caneswear. I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to buy the Miami Dolphins gear. They're going to love it. And also, it would be cool to do the pregame show from there. I'm not going to do what Hank does for 5 minutes. I'm going to be doing the pregame show while standing there. So
let's see here. And that's all right. Fish Tank's having fun.
You might see some 2 tight end sets, but I do think that Durham Smythe has done phenomenally well the first 2 games. And I think they're going to stick with him. And maybe on certain, I think there will be certain packages set up for Julian Hill, but I don't think necessarily they're going to sit Durham Smythe over Julian Hill at any point.
Smythe's been playing very well this year. I've been very happy with Smythe so far.
And Ingold's blocking has been insane.
I don't think anybody's taking any snaps away from Smythe. Then Hill might get an opportunity, but he's not going to take any snaps because Smythe has been playing very well today. And I that's why I like A-Chain. Excuse me. I don't think A-Chain's going to eat at any of Mozart's snaps. He's just taking over Savon's snaps today. But yeah. Mozart has that job locked in unless Miami does something about that position. And Mozart's been fine. The first game, not great because the Dolphins got off that running attack. But the second game, he showed he can do it. We hope he does it today. We'll see. Wingate.
Oh, God.
You walked yourself right into that, homeboy. So you did that to yourself. You know, these things are recorded, my man. We can't do that.
I have no problem. I'm Costanza. I don't. It doesn't bother me.
I know. You don't make Costanza. I know. I'm with you, though. I get you. Let me pull this up here.
It's actually the most cost-friendly option for me, actually. So to go all the way down to Miami.
Dude, why not? I mean, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I just need to figure. I need to get some feedback because I'm really confused with the whole tailgating and the whole How do you get into the parking? That's the only thing that's confusing me the heck out of me. But I guess you could figure that out.
Have you ever been to a Miami game in
Yes,
Miami?
but last time I went, I didn't tailgate. Like it was like years ago. My wife was not going that early. But if I go myself and go meet up with the team, I'll speak to Thirsty. I'll speak to Hank. I could probably park further back and then come in, but we'll see. I don't know how that all works.
All right, so we're at the hour. Let's go ahead and roll this out and get our predictions out there for the Dolphins versus the Broncos. Evan, how do you see this rolling today?
I can't change my prediction now because I'll look like a fool. I do.
Do you want to?
No, I'll stick with it.
Okay.
I think that they're not going to leave points on the board. I do think this will be not even a close to a tight game. I'm going the Mike Florio route. He had a 38-21. I have a 38-17.
There you go. 38-17 Miami over the Denver Broncos. Would love to see it. Would be a huge win. I think that would be a complete game for Miami because you got some field goals in there. You got an offensive score, and then you're holding it down the offense to 17 points. So that looks like a complete recipe. I love it. Again, I told you I feel like this might be a closer game, and I think it might be a high-scoring game. And if I remember correctly, I have it 31-27 Miami. The Dolphins beating the Denver Broncos, and I think that it's 28-27.
Yes,
I think the Dolphins. It's a 28-27. Denver gets to that 27, and then Miami, and then Jason Sanders kicks that field goal because then it has to be a touchdown score away, and then the defense seals it for the third week in a row. So that's
and then I'll be coming on the bandwagon and overreacting.
Exactly. You will. 34-17 for Scotty. 4 touchdowns, 2 field goals. Broncos score at least a late touchdown to make it appear closer than it is, and that's how it's been rolling. I like it. Again, if I'm down with it. Anyway, if Miami wins, it's a win. I'm excited. Unless it's like I don't know. The thing about our post-game shows is that we're not all sunshine and rainbows. You know what I mean?
Not.
No, we point out the flaws. Especially if it's Jason Sanders for Evan. But any little thing we point out, hey, they need to fix this because they can't do this against Buffalo. They can't do this against whoever's the next team because we got to figure that out. But I think we are good. Let me make sure, though, before we close this out, that there's no updates on today's game. We are about 49 minutes away from Dolphins versus Broncos. Broncos star corner Pat Surtain, the second, told me feels like home. He was signing autographs for fans in the stadium. His dad, Pat Surtain, season. Yeah, Surtain Sr. was a Dolphin. The Broncos plan to have Pat Surtain shadow Tyreek Hill during today's game. Good luck. What's going on with the Browns? The Browns could potentially clear Deshaun Watson's future guarantees if he's suspended for violating on-field playing rules. Was already fined for 3 different violations against the Steelers. If Watson is suspended and Browns decide the conduct is egregious, get out of it. What is he doing?
I don't know.
Oh, unnecessary roughness. Okay, so here we go. NFL fined Deshaun Watson $35,000.
Wow.
35. Go ahead.
Welcome to the bandwagon, Wingate. You're a beautiful man.
31.
He's the man with my favorite beard.
There you go. I love it. I hope it goes down that way. So Watson was fined $35,513 for 2 unnecessary roughness violations and sportsmanlike conduct. I guess he's grabbing the masks. Yeah, he's grabbing face masks as he's running away from players. He got fined $35,000.
Wow.
This is where, it's so funny. Clutch is right. Clutch, who does fast break. He goes, so this is where they draw the line on Watson? It's the face mask. Yeah, right. Took them to do that.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
So let me I'm just making sure I don't miss anything here. We wrap this up. It looks like Adam Schefter, some strong Miami Denver connections. Head coach Mike McDaniel was a ball boy for the Broncos under coach Mike Shanahan. Then joined his coaching staff as a 22-year-old intern. Vic Fangio was the Broncos head coach in 2019 to 21. Pass rusher Bradley Chubb was traded from Denver to the Dolphins for a 23 first-round pick, and Dolphins lost the first-round pick for tampering with Sean Payton while he was still under damage. more than I thought. But
Eric Studville was their interim head coach about 10, 12 years ago.
Oh, there you go. You see that? So this is a game of connections here.
A lot of connections on both sides of the ball. So.
Let's take a look one more time. All right. So that about wraps. Oh,
What?
Look at your Wingate roll.
Oh, okay. I plan on tomorrow. I have time. The Beer and Sports podcast will be on. I have producer rights. I guess I'll keep on muting his microphone as he talks. I'll be bored tomorrow.
Oh, my. All right, guys. Well, let me just say thank you all for tuning in, watching the Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Fins Talk Sports Network. If you haven't yet, hit that like and subscribe button. We will be back on later tonight. I hope I will. I think I will. But we will be back on later tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, after the Dolphins game, celebrating a Dolphins victory. We hope Evan Positive, FinStanza Positive will be here. I will be here. So join us again. Tell us your thoughts on this game. You catch Wingate tomorrow on the Beer and Sports podcast. He give his thoughts. Until then, like, subscribe, and most importantly, Dolphin fans, fins up.